Okay, YouTube, my name's DePiro, and in this video I'm going to show you how to throw a boomerang. It's just a little therapeutic hobby of mine, and it's pretty good exercise as well. Okay, so here's some tips before you go out throwing the boomerang. You don't want to skip this. It's an exercise you need to do. You need to stretch under the chest muscle right here, because when you throw a boomerang, you're putting a lot of force on that. I've pulled that muscle before, and it took me 3 weeks to heal until I was able to throw again. So you just want to, you can put the boomerang behind your head and pull and stretch that chest muscle right there. You can do both sides. I usually do like a minute on each side, or sometimes 2 minutes. But you don't really need the boomerang. You can just use your hands like that. It's the rib muscle right in here. Another tip is you always want to wear sunglasses. I like the yellow ones. I don't like them too dark, but you're definitely going to need them, because when you're up trying to catch the boomerang, you don't want the sun in your eyes. It's going to just blind you. You're not going to be able to catch it. And another tip is, when you catch the boomerang, you don't want to do any kind of grabbing with your fingers. It's simple. You just want to clap your hands together like that and use your palms, because you're going to jam your fingers or hurt your fingers pretty bad. So you just like that, clap them together. And that's the only way to do it. So you should be good from there. These are my two wooden boomerangs. The top one is called the Tomahawk. And that's a really good boomerang. I got that from a guy who makes them in Lithuania. And his Etsy shop is called Boomerangs by Nemo. And the other boomerang, the silver one, is the Road Warrior. I got that one from a guy named Victor Poulin from his Etsy shop. So if you'd like to purchase that one, I'll leave a link below as well. That is the feral kid from the movie Road Warrior. Hey there! It throws it and he hides in the little cave. So they both throw really well. And I normally make that sound when I throw that Road Warrior boomerang. And I don't make boomerangs, but I do make boomerang racks. So if you'd like to purchase a rack, I'll leave the link down below to my Etsy shop. They really make a nice decoration on the wall. And if you look at the back of the Tomahawk boomerang, you can see it's got a lot of carving. You know, there was some time put into this one. So it makes a difference from buying a cheap boomerang. You know, there's not much carving on those. That's why they don't seem to come back to you when you throw them. So it's definitely worth it to spend the money and get a good one. These guys have been doing this a long time, and they definitely know what they're doing, because I've thrown a cheap one and that thing just went into the wind and didn't go nowhere. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is find a park in your area with a big field. If you have a forest with a lot of trees, you want to stay away from the trees, because you don't want the wind to blow your boomerang. You'll never see it again. You get stuck up in a high tree. So the way you want to hold the boomerang is the same way you would hold a knife if you were throwing a throwing knife. Just grip it between your thumb and your pointer finger, like so, here. And another way of holding the boomerang is this kind of grip, where it's the same as holding a hammer. I don't know how anybody could hold it like that. I have no luck like that, but it's pretty common grip. But you can go back and forth, see which grip you like better. And when I go throwing, I always wear my baseball cleats. I just get better grip. My catches are a lot better, and I have more control, and I don't slip. So the cleats I have is Under Armour baseball cleats, and I got those at Dick's Sporting Goods. It's definitely worth it. And if you're a righty, you can see my left foot is in the front. So you want to get a couple steps, running start, maybe 3 or 4, and just take step, 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 and then release. And you want to throw it straight out in front of you, not on an angle, but you want to throw it not too high up. You want to throw it in the middle. And I normally go to the park. I don't stay too long. I try to do about 25 or 30 throws, and I'll see how many catches I can get out of 30. So if I get, 25 out of 30, or if I can catch even 30 out of 30, that's what I normally do. It's my point system. And that's basically it. It'll come back around, and when you see it come back down, it'll helicopter down at you. And when it comes down at you, it's going to play a sight game at you. So you think it's coming at you, and then it curves off to the left, or it curves to the right. You'll be able to, over time, you'll be able to track it down and get the hang of it and start reading it. When you get to the park, if it's really windy, if you look at the trees, you can see if the wind is blowing really hard. But if it's pretty windy, you might want to turn around and go home, because you're not going to be able to get any catches when it's windy. If it's just a little windy, it's not going to be too bad. You still might catch some, but you'll know over time when to go home. And there are different ways of throwing it. You can tilt the boomerang a little bit to the right at like 1 o'clock, and and that might put a different spin on it. And you'll know over time, which way you like to hold it and throw it the best. And it takes a little bit of patience in the beginning. It took me a few hundred throws before I was able to catch one time. So you just want to practice, and eventually you'll get the hang of it. You'll find out where it's going. It's a little tricky, when you think the boomerang's coming down at you, and all of a sudden it just flies the other way. So you'll know over time where it's going. And I normally like to go to the park on the weekdays. Just the weekends sometimes are a little packed with people. Flying drones and stuff like that. So I just like to be alone.